Assalamu alaikum students, how are you? I hope you all are doing good. So once again welcome back to my economics class. So today also we are continuing from our chapter number 2, that is consumption analysis. So let's have a look on the concept we are going to study today. So today you will come to understand, you will come to know the determinants of demand. I mean, what are the factors which affect on the demand of the goods? And the second one is reasons for exceptional demand curve. You have studied in the previous video that states that law of demand, the demand curve always is downward sloping. Downward sloping means if there is a rise in the price, there would be always a decrease in the demand, and if there is fall in the price, it will tend to increase the demand. But there are some cases in which the demand curve is upward, which means if the price is increasing, the demand will also increase. So we will see what are that exceptionals. And the third concept is concept of movement along demand curve. And the last concept is concept of shift in demand curve. So here are the determinants of demand. It's also known as the factors affecting the demand. So here is the list, that is changes in taste and preference. The second one is changes in weather. The third one is taxation and subsidy. The next one is changes in expectation, state of trade activity, advertisement, changes in income, changes in population. So in this video, we will study one by one regarding these points explanation. So let's start with the first point, that is changes in taste and preference. Point is changes in taste and preference. In the previous video, you just come to understand that if there is an increase in the price, it will tend to decrease the demand of the particular goods. But it completely changes the scenario in case of taste and preference. It doesn't matter whether the price is high or low. If you are liking the taste of that particular good, you will buy anyhow, no matter what is the price. Same goes with the fashion sense also. Like we talk about the trend of legging. You know very well, the price of the legging in the earlier was very high, but now with the introduction of plazos in fashion, it is increasing the price of plazos because the fashion is in trend. So this is the first factor which affect on the demand other than price. Till now you just have studied that price affect the demand, but there are some factors which affect the demand no matter what is the price. Now you know that the plazos are very trending in girls fashion sense, so that's why the price of these clothes is very high, and girls are buying this because there is no issue of price if you are liking anything or if it is in trend in the market. So let's move to the next factor which affect the demand. The next factor is changes in weather. You know, there is a season of summer, cold, rainy seasons, and accordingly there are availability of goods also there. Let's talk about this summer season. You know, in summer season we feel very hot and in short time we feel thirsty. In that case, to complete our thirst, we go with the soft drinks. And in summer season, there is an increase in the price of soft drinks, especially in the restaurants or in the hotels, because they know that if we increase the price of these soft drinks, nobody will bother, because there is a esteem need in summer season of these soft drinks. So again, there is a thing that this price doesn't matter in case of weather. There is another example, that is of rainy season. If there is a rainy season, no matter what's the price of umbrella, what's the price of raincoat, people will buy because there is a need to buy that things to solve their necessities. So this is the another factor which affect the demand of the goods. So the another factor which affect the demand is taxation and subsidy. You know what, if the cost of raw material is increasing because the taxation rate is increased by the government, then obviously it increase the price of the good. And if there is an increase in the price of the good, obviously there would be decrease in the demand. But how the price rises? Because of the taxation. So we can say that the next factor is taxation. If the tax rate is increasing, then obviously the demand for that particular goods will also decrease, and if there is an increase in the taxation, it will tend to increase the price of the commodity also. And it's vice versa also. If there is if there is decrease in the taxation, it will tend to decrease the price of the goods, and it will tend to increase the demand of that particular good. It goes same with the subsidy also. If the government is providing the raw material to the producer at a lower rate, it means it will tend to help the suppliers or producer to decrease their price, because they are no longer spending much money on producing the goods. So this is another factor which affect the demand of the commodity in the market. Let's see the next point, that is changes in expectation. What we expect in the future also affect the demand of the commodity. Are you understanding? Again and again, what I am saying is that there is not a single factor which affect the demand of the commodity in the market, that is price. No, there are so many other factors which affect the demand of the commodity, and there is a point is expectation. Expectation means what you expect in the future. If you are expecting that there would be increase in the price of particular commodity in the future, let's suppose we talk about land. We are talking about land, and we expect that in future the price of the land will also increase. And what will you do now? You will demand for that land right now, not in the future, because you are expecting that the price of that particular land will increase in the future, and now it's the time to buy that at a lower rate. So it's a kind of, I'm telling you with the point of view investment. It goes same with the gold also. You know very well, your parents usually invest the money in gold because they think that there would be increase in the price of the gold in future. That's why there is an increase in the demand of that particular goods now. In the same way, if you are expecting that there is a decrease in the price in the goods in future, then you will think why to buy it now. You are expecting that the price of the goods will decrease in the future, then you will love to buy in future, not now, because you would think that this is the time when the price of the commodity is high, and it will tend to decrease in future because you are expecting. So whatever you are expecting is also affect the demand in the market. Let's go with the next point. That is state of trade activity. In the period of boom, if the country is enjoying the high rate of national income in the country, high rate of per capita income, it is the good period for the country. Everyone is having the money with them. There is no debt. There is a good period going on in the country. Not now, as we are in lockdown, we face the problem in lockdown. So right now in our country, we are not facing the boom period. We are in the recession period. But in case of boom period, it will increase the demand of the goods because the people are having more money with them. It's going a good period in the country, and it will tend to increase the demand no matter what is the price in the market. And there is the opposite scenario in case of recession. Recession means a bad period in the country. People are facing a lot of problem in earning their necessities. At that time, people will face more problems, and they will go with the necessity goods only. They will not demand any other things which is not that much important for them. So in case of recession, the demand of that particular goods will decrease. So this is the another factor which affect the demand in state of trade activity. Let's go with the next point. That is advertisement. I mean, in the lockdown session, we faced a lot of problem. Okay, but the online sites like Flipkart, Myntra, Amazon, Snapdeal, I think there are a lot of sites which are providing lot of discount on particular goods, and it helps to increase the demand of the goods. Anyhow, if there is a lockdown period, no problem, they are advertising the goods in a great platform so that people can go with that deal. I mean, they are providing a lot of discount on the goods, so people would love to buy the goods. So in case of you can say there are a lot of advertisement which affect you and which make you to buy the goods no matter when. Wow, how? I mean, there is a lot of examples. It goes with children also. Children love to buy those things which they see in the advertisement in the TV. So this is another factor which affect the demand. The next point is change in income. So have a look on the point. If a person, I mean, if there is an increase in the income of the person, that person will love to buy more things because there is an increase in the income for that particular person. So there would be increase in the demand in the same way. And if we compare this situation with the lockdown period, there was, I mean, a decrease in the income of the persons. There is decrease in the income of so many employees because they lose their jobs. In that case, they will decrease the demand of the goods. So this is the another factor. I mean, income is also the factor which affect the demand in the market. The another point is changes in the population. You know very well India's population is 135 crore right now. And if you want to start any business, it will grow because of the population. Because if there is high rate of population in the country, then people would love to buy because there is a lot of opportunity to grow. So it is explained as this. If there is increase in the population, it will increase the demand also. And on the other hand, if there is decrease in the population, it will decrease the demand also. So that's all the points which affect the demand. Let's have a look on the next concept we are going to study. This is the concept that reasons for exceptional demand curve. In the previous video, you just have understood that demand curve is always downward sloping because of the law of demand. Because law of demand explained to us that if there is a rise in the price, it will decrease the demand. And if there is decrease in the price, it will tend to decrease. It will tend to increase the price. But there are some cases in which this law fails to prove. So here are the points, that is Giffen paradox, demonstration effect, ignorance, speculative effect, fear of shortage. So let's understand these points one by one. So the first point, which is the exceptional in a law of demand, is Giffen paradox. If price of inferior goods fall, inferior goods means, I mean, the quality of these type of goods is low. And if the price of that low quality goods fall, then the demand will also fall. Because people will think if the price goes down, there would be any, I mean, the bad quality will be high. It's not good for them. That's why they will not buy the goods. So what we have studied, if the price decreases, the demand will increase. But in this case, the price of the inferior good is falling, and in the same way, the demand is also falling. So this is the exceptional. So in the same way, if the price of these inferior good increases, if there is an increase in the inferior good price, then people would think that the quality of these goods is improving right now, and they will demand high for these goods. So this is the kind of thing. In the law of demand, you just studied the relationship between price and demand is negative, inverse relation. But in Giffen paradox case, the price and demand have a direct relation between them, or a positive relation between them. So the next point is demonstration effect. Demonstration effect is the another reason why the demand curve is upward, the exceptional. So here is the example which is given in your book also, that is rich people buy certain goods because it gives them a social distinction, for example diamond. It is easy to understand, but I will give you the day-to-day life example which you people face, or your parents face actually. Demonstration effect is that if your friend buys something and you want that same thing because your friend buy that thing, and you will ask your parents also to make them to buy that goods which your friend buy. If your friend bought a new motorbike, you will ask your parents to buy for you also, because you love to, it's a trend in India that we love to buy the thing which is in our neighborhood. It is a kind of demonstration effect. And in that case, there is no matter of the price. If there is increase in the price, no matter. If there is decrease in the price, no matter. It is a demonstration effect, and you will love to buy whatever your friend or whatever your neighbors buy the goods. The next point is ignorance. It is a similar point, kind of similar point with the Giffen paradox, but quite different also. Ignorance means, people think that the quality of the good is compared with the price. Let's suppose there is a branded thing available in the market with the high price, and you will compare the same thing which is manufactured by the local manufacturer, and they will charge you the low price, but you will think that the quality of that particular good is low. You will not buy that good. You will trust that branded goods which is available in the market with the good brand name, and you will love to buy that thing because you think that the branded goods always have the high quality in their goods. But they think that that local manufacturer do not produce the goods with the quality standards. Sometimes it is true also, but never always true. Local manufacturer also produce the goods with the good quality, but why they are charging you the low price? Because they are not having the brand name with them. This is the reason. But people are ignorant about this fact. That's why they are judging the good by its price. So it is the another reason why there is a direct relationship between the price and the demand. Let's move to the next point. The next point is speculative effect. So here is the explanation with the very easy wording, that is, if the price of the commodity is increasing, then the consumer will buy more of it because of the expectation that it will increase still further. It goes with the same in the land and gold also. Like your parents love to buy the land because they know there is always an appreciation in the land, there is always an increase in the price in the land, and they would love to earn the profit through that. This is called speculative effect. If the commodity price is increasing, they would love to buy more because they think that there would be increase in the price in future also. So here our law fails, because our law explains that if there is an increase in the price, people would not buy more things. But if there is a speculative effect, if people think they want to earn more profit, they would love to buy the goods at the increasing rate also, because they think that they would think that the increasing in the price will go similar in the future also, and they would love to buy the goods to earn more profit. This is the another point which is exceptional, that is fear of shortage. Just now we face this problem. In the lockdown and before the lockdown, when Prime Minister announced the lockdown period, people thought that there would be shortage of the commodities in the market. That's why they purchased a bulk amount of commodities. They think that there would be shortage of goods in the market. For that reason, shopkeepers was charging them a higher prices, but people were busy in thinking that there would be a shortage of goods, so they are not longer affected by the increase in the price. They were just thinking about the shortage. And in that case, if the price was very high at that time, but people were also buying a lot of goods at that time, and in that situation, our law of demand actually fails, because our law of demand states that if there is an increase in the price, the demand would decrease. But at that time, in the time of lockdown, people were charging them a lot of prices, a high rate of price on the goods, but people were buying because they think that there would be shortage of goods in the market in future. So that's all the points why the demand curve is upwarding, or why the law of demand fails in some cases. So it is a very important concept. Let's move to the next concept. The next concept is movement along the demand curve. Extension of demand means increase in the demand. Other factor, just now you have studied about the determinants of demand, that is factors affecting the demand. In this case, to understand that factors of demand remains constant, there is no change in that factors, but there is a single change in the price, that is if the price, let me explain you with the laser here. If there is a decrease in the price starting from P and then it's P1, the price decreases, then what is the effect of that? The demand also increases from Q to Q1. There is an increase in the demand also, and this is the case of extension. Extension means other factors remain constant. There is a decrease in the price which will tend to increase the demand, and that's why there is a downward sloping demand curve. That means extension of demand. So price start from here and now it decreases to P1. Let's move to the next concept, which is contraction of demand. These two diagrams are very similar. What you have to understand is the arrow. Here the arrow is downward sloping, downward, and here the arrow is upward. Contraction means decrease. Here just see, when the price was 20, the demand was 100, and when the price increases to 25, the demand of the goods fall to 70, and this is the case of contraction in demand. So what is the difference between two diagrams is this arrow. In this case the arrow is upward, and in this case the arrow is downward. Let's move to the next concept, that is shift in demand curve. So increase in demand curve, it is same with the extension of demand, and increase in demand is the same concept. The difference is that in that case we remain the factor of demand as constant, but in this case we will remain the price as constant. Other factors are changes, whatever we have studied, change in fashion and preference, the season, change in weather, These are the factors which affect the demand. And if there is change in that factors, it will also affect the demand. So price is constant, but the demand is increasing because of that factors affecting demand. It same goes with the decrease in demand also. Price remain constant, but other factors are changing. For that reason, there is a decrease in the demand, and there is a shift in the demand also. First was D, the second was D dash. The curve first was D, then the curve was D dash. So there is a difference between extension of demand and increase in demand, contraction of demand and decrease in demand. So that's all for today. So let's have a look on the assignment question which you have to complete on time. That is, explain the determinants of demand in detail. The next question is, explain the reasons for exceptional in demand. The third question is, give the description about the concept of movement along with the demand curve and shift in demand curve. You have to explain in detail with the explanation, with the diagram also. So that's all for today's video. Students, Assalamu alaikum. Take care.